Hello and welcome to Connecta Talk of the Swiss Post and PostFinance. My name is Eileen Zumstein and I welcome Sarka Pekarova. She is a social engineer and she works for DreamLab Technologies in Bern. She will tell us more about social engineering and why it is a cornerstone in IT security strategies. With the speed of digitalization, a development that has received additional push in many companies due to COVID-19, IT security is important more than ever. Sarka, what exactly is social engineering and why is it so relevant to any IT security strategy?
Well, I believe that all the technology that we are using, the humans are involved in anything from the creating the technology, configuring technology, and then interacting with the technology. So for me, humans are really the center in every part of how we are using the technology and how we should be aware of it. And then the social engineering comes because it's targeting us as humans. So social engineering could be anything from malicious emails as phishing emails to phishing, which is a voice phishing, so that someone trying to phish us over the phone, or to smishing, so that's via SMS. But it could also be in person. So we, as a company, we are also doing engagements where I break into buildings. So it's about manipulating people and tailgating and getting into perhaps parts of the company where no one should be. And why it's important? Because it's same as when we are doing auditing or penetration testing of the network. We also should be doing social engineering engagements to understand the human threat landscape. And because I am hearing a lot where people are saying it's not necessary to test people, and if you actually Google, humans are the weakest link, which we are hearing a lot, and humans are the strongest link. We get, for the weakest link, we actually get about 46 million hits. But for the strongest link, it's about, I believe, over 400 million. So what does it tell us? So do we actually really think that they are strongest or weakest? Most importantly, the top 3 hits for the weakest link are cybersecurity related. And the top 3 hits for the strongest link are not cybersecurity related. So I feel like there is maybe a little bit of an issue in our realm of cybersecurity where we do not maybe believe in the strength of our people that are so important in our networks. So that's where I think the social engineering really comes in, because we need to understand if all the processes and procedures and the people in the network, if they are properly trained and understand what they're supposed to be doing, it's a way to test them and to understand if we need to change something and make them better and stronger.
Sarka, what are the most common social engineering tactics you experience and why do they work?
Well, I would say it's probably phishing because it's one of the easiest. It's for the criminal. It doesn't cost that much money and it's proven to work quite well. So, and why it works? So I would say it goes back to a lot of people are saying, yeah, there is always that one person that in the company that clicks the link. And I would go contrary to that, where if we are doing enough social engineering engagements and testing our people and making them understand what they are supposed to be doing and how the emails are looking like, they will get trained and they will understand better, as well as we need to make people work together with the technology. So we need to properly configure the technology when we are talking about the phishing email. Before it reaches any human, there are peripheral devices like firewalls where it should be stopped. We have our email servers that should have be properly configured email clients, then we have antivirus, data leak prevention. So there is so many technological controls that are actually there before it reaches human. So we shouldn't be blaming the humans in the network. Instead, we should be trying to enforce them with a proper testing, with proper technology that's being configuring, and proper enforcement.
Sarka, you mentioned a couple of control mechanisms, systems. What measures, other measures, do you recommend companies to implement to defend themselves against social engineering and to sensitize their employees to those kind and types of risk?
Well, I would say social engineering engagements, and that and in both kinds, both the remote ones, so like a phishing campaigns, all the way to letting someone actually break into your company. And I know there is a little bit of a negative view on this, but we are trying to teach them, and I don't like to scare people. If I'm going in, if I will leave a negative feeling in someone, it's not going to teach them. So we are trying to, with social engineering, we are trying to not only test them and let your company understand if the way that you've been training your people, it's effective, but we are also trying to leave a positive feeling from what they experience. Because if I am understanding humans and how they are working, and if I will push someone maybe a little bit more, they will raise their voice and ask who I am, what am I doing there, who am I there to see, and that will then for next time give them the strength to ask the same thing, but perhaps an attacker really. So I think what really the company could do is to do more testing. Same as we are doing auditing or penetration testing of the technology in our network, we should be testing the humans too.
Sarka, do you have any tip for what each of us can do and keep in mind in everyday life to make us less susceptible to social engineering attacks?
I would say be more passive. So what I really mean is social engineering usually works with some sort of putting on a pressure or scaring, and it's very prevalent in these times where right now we are not sure when we will go back to normal, and everyone is a little scared. So now the phishing attacks been really on rise. So I would say stay a little bit passive. So any sensational news or any scaring techniques, just take a step back and try to be a little bit more passive. Is it even possible what the email is saying? What does it mean? When we are talking about a work environment, is it how come an email came from different person than usually, even if it's something that seems very urgent, or if it's a phone call, say, okay, thank you for this information, let me call you back, and to put the phone down and try to call Google. I would say not exactly call the same number back, but call that person, try to find a different channel how to reach that person. So be a little bit more passive, because all of the social engineering works in one way or another with some sort of action. So it could be, as I said, either pressure or stress, but it also could be an excitement. If everyone remembers the Nigerian prince scams, talking about lots of money that they could earn. So it's all a little bit about taking the step back and think, and if it's really possible, or if it's that bad, can I verify it somehow?
Sarka, let's be more passive. Thank you so much for this very interesting talk.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your interest, Eileen Zumstein, for Connecta Talk of the Swiss Post and Postfinance.